This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium training session. This video is entitled Odd Things, Odd Places. And what I will discuss in this video is the sometimes provocative and sometimes odd places where women try to scan and read you and do provocative things to you. The first one is the hard stare. The hard stare is a type of reading method. It's a really, really hard read that a woman does to a man. And typically where the hard stare happens is in a setting like a public transportation, like you're on a subway train or a bus and you're riding somewhere and you're sitting in a seat facing a woman. So like let's say you're on a subway train and the train has the seat set up where the seats are facing each other. So you're sitting on one side, she's sitting on another. You're there, you're kind of reading your newspaper, whatever, looking at your smartphone, and all of a sudden you look up and the woman across from you is staring at you. I mean, it is really creepy. She's just staring. She's not blinking. She's just staring at you. And what she's trying to do to you is trying to really do a intensive, hard read on you. And this particularly happens with people like me who are hard to read. They will attempt this on you. And also it is a form of shit testing where they try to see if you will do something to break them from staring at you like that. The hard stare can also happen in like a, let's say you're in a business meeting or something like that, or you're just in a area with another coworker. You look up suddenly and you'll see that the coworker, the female coworker, is staring at you, and she's just again not blinking, just a dead-on stare. And again, they are trying to do a hard read on you, particularly in work situations too, and particularly if you're the type of man that's hard to read. Female employees will do this to you quite often. You'll find them when you're trying to do your work, do what you need to do. They're just staring at you. They're just looking at you. And when this used to happen to me in the past, I would just kind of look away and kind of, just try to not look at the woman. But these days, I just glare back or I will say, what are you looking at? What is wrong with you? To stop them from doing that. Okay, the next one is the step across. And this is very provocative, and it usually happens in a public transportation setting. So the setup. In my past, I was an IT manager. I used to manage an IT shop. And so I had to do a lot of flying in my business and stuff like that. So I'm on a plane. Woman is sitting to my left. I'm sitting in the aisle seat, and she's not really all that hot looking, but she's edge scanning me, reading me, that type of thing. Plane takes off. The pilot turns off the seatbelt light. You can move around the cabin. She suddenly has to get up, check her baggage. So instead of, and the plane was designed so you can kind of slide around the person that's sitting in the, sitting in the seat next to you, so you didn't have to step across them. But she steps across me, and she steps across me in a way that her butt is in my face. Doesn't say nothing, doesn't say excuse me, steps across me, does what she does, and then she comes back to me, steps across me again, but this time she's facing me. So she's reading me. Sits down. A few minutes later, I gotta go to the bathroom. Does the same thing. Steps across me, butt in the face, comes back, steps across me, she's facing me. That is a form of parading. And also, she's reading you. And also, she's doing something provocative by putting her butt in your face. Because again, if somebody was courteous to you, they would not do that. They would kind of slide around you where their butt wouldn't be in your face. They wouldn't be all up in you like that. So again, the step across, very provocative. Let's see, number 3, the force upon. This is where a woman, in the process of reading you, will try to force something upon you, like a article of clothing or food or something like that. She will try to force it upon you. It is basically, I guess, her way of gifting you or whatever. But they will do it, and it's very forcible when it happens. In fact, if you refuse what they have to offer you, they get mad. 2 scenarios where this happened. Actually, 2 setups where this happened. Again, in my IT management days, I was flying back to my home location. I'm in the tail section of a plane, and I'm sitting, to the left of me. There's an older couple. We're just kind of talking, conversing. And I'll just back up first. First of all, when flight attendants set themselves up, for their flight, they know which locations they're going to be in. So like one is going to be in the front handling the first class, the business class and whatever, and then another one's going to be in the back. And they're handling whatever they need to do. They know the sections they're going to be in. It's pre-planned. So, and this is because they need to coordinate with the pilots and do whatever they need to do, seat assignments and that type of thing. So I'm flying, back, and I'm just there with this couple. And in the beginning of the flight, the flight attendant in the front, female flight attendant, had really kind of hard scanned me, as I got on the plane. And that's a given. You as a male, when you fly, you're going to be scanned. That's the way it is. It's going to happen to you. You're going to be scanned. They know where you are. They know what you're doing, or not so much what you're doing, but where you're sitting at and everything. They know that. So that's a given. You're going to be scanned. It is what it is. But she was in the front. About midway in the flight, suddenly the one in the back where I am goes up to the front. The one in the front comes to the back. And she says some kind of lame excuse. The flight attendant in the back needed to have some more training, and I decided to send her up to the front. So she goes to the front. The one goes to the front. The one comes to the back, and I'm there, just sitting, and all of a sudden I notice that this flight attendant is overly curious about me, just coming back there. You're doing all right. You're doing okay. And it's like, there are other people on this flight, but she's back there trying to scan me and read me, just walks off and then comes back. So she's parading. Then towards the end of the flight, she comes back with a ocean spray cranberry juice. And it's here. I think you need this. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And she's, no, you need this. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And we start this back and forth about this cranberry juice, and she starts getting perturbed. And you really need this. You will take it with you and have it for lunch, and that type of thing. And the old couple is like, just please, just take this thing and get this lady out of here. So she walks off, and I finally take the drink. She walks off, And she was trying to, in the process, just really trying to hard scare me. That's what she was trying to do. And the old couple was like, that's kind of strange, so that happened. Second example, sitting in a car dealership, waiting for my truck to get inspected. Lady comes in, and I'll set this up again. A lot of seats around me, empty seats. She couldn't sit anywhere. She plops down beside me. She's got some Chick-fil-A breakfast, and she's, just starts talking to me. She's edge scanning me, and then she tries to start talking to me so I would face her so she can really get a read on me. Then all of a sudden, would you like some Chick-fil-A? I'm like, no. Well, just take some. No. Just take no. And she starts getting perturbed, and it's like finally I just look, and then finally they called me from my car, so I got away from her. But she got perturbed. And as a rule, I don't take food from strangers because people are crazy, and they you don't know what she could have done, to that sandwich. And again, I've had some crazy stuff happen with women. So let's see. The emergency room. This is a odd place where women scan you. And when it happens, you don't think it would happen, but it does happen. And let's say you're like in an emergency room, you're there with your relatives or something like that, and two things can happen. Um, the You're sitting in the room with your parent, and they're sick and everything. They're hooked up to the monitors, and all of a sudden, the nurses that need training start to pop up. And in every case I've gone to the emergency room, this happens. They start to pop up. They'll come in. They need to look at what's going on. They need to have this happen, and they're there, and you'll find it's a repeat type of thing. They keep coming in. They'll look in there, and what they're doing, they're reading you. It sounds strange, but that's what happens. The other situation, this is a setup. My mother had gotten a stomach bug, and she's there in the emergency room. She's vomiting and everything. So, and the way this hospital is set up, there is a inner sitting room in the emergency room. There's an outer one, and there's an inner one. So, like if you have a lot of relatives that are coming to visit the patient, there's an area where you can sit outside and just wait for them to rotate out so you can rotate in. So I'm sitting out there with my dad. I'm sitting on the edge of the row. And my dad is sitting next to me on the inner side of it. And this nurse notices me and starts to parade. She's back and forth, back and forth. And she does brush ups. She touches me. We're checking on your mom. We're doing. She's gonna be all right. And she really should be talking to my dad because that's his wife. I'm just there. I had driven my dad to the emergency room. That was it. So that's really he is his wife. Or he is her wife. And let me get it straight. He is there with his wife, and she should be talking to him, but she's talking to me. And she's back and forth, and she's really doing a not only parading, she's butt wiggling. She's doing, just touching me, and you're doing all right. Can I get you some coffee? That type of thing. That happens, and that's very odd because you think that they would have their business on the patients at hand, and dealing with what's going on, but they are there reading you and trying to get your attention, that type of thing. That happens. Let's see. The last one is the Strangelet logic bomb. And this is something where a woman says or does something that's very provocative, and it's usually she'll say something. It seems to be innocuous. It seems to be very innocent, but it is provocative, and it is designed to cause your thinking process to get changed over to something else. And a strangelet in astrophysics is a particle of strange matter that can take a particle of regular matter and change it into something else. But the setup. Again, in my IT manager days, I was getting onto the elevator with a HR manager, female HR manager. We began to discuss some issues in my department, and what I need to do, and because I was hiring and doing all this type of stuff, and so she's talking to me about this and that. At the end of the ride, doors open, she begins to walk out. She kind of turns to me, just kind of turns around to me, slightly turns around to me. I'm hot. Doors closed. She walks away. I'm there. Okay. Do you mean you're physically hot? Do you mean I'm hot as a woman? Or do you mean I'm hot and turned on? And what she had did to me was a strangelet logic bomb. She not only read me and edge scanned me in the elevator ride, but she also dropped a bomb in my mind, which got me to thinking, what is she talking about? What does she mean? And I think that what she meant was the third choice. I'm hot and turned on. And I would just say in passing, these days, I would not get on an elevator alone with a woman. Just do not do it, because it is very dangerous. You can get into a lot of trouble. And again, if somebody says something like that to you, don't respond to them. Don't say anything to them. Just let it go. Just walk away from it. Anyway, my MGTOW brothers, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.